to talk about the woman that harassed the black man from going into his apartment building that he pays rent for. She was walking her dog and sees a man trying to enter without a key card, and she harasses this guy till he has to push past her while videotaping the whole time. Thank God for videotape. Having a camera phone, because it's very important. These are things that you cannot do to a black man or a minority, because what happens is that could have went really bad. All the situation had to be is that the cops came, and then this guy would have been looking like a criminal before they even found out he actually lived in the apartment. The thing about it is, when you have privilege and you have access, the thing about it is you can't look down on other people because of the color of their skin, and that's what she did. This is because he was black entering a building that she believed that he could not possibly afford. He could not possibly live there. He lived a floor above her, so maybe he had a better view. Actually, maybe he actually had better accommodations than her, but for her to follow him, this is the thing that pisses me off, because you can't do that. When you think about Emmett Till, it just took one white lady to say that he was trying to rape her, and this 14-year-old was murdered, sought out, hunted. He was harassed, he was killed, and he looked unrecognizable. He was I would say he was deformed after what they did to him. And 80 something years later, a woman, the same woman, she's in her 80s, I guess, or 90s, and she admits that he never did anything. He never tried to do anything to her. So it's kind of scary, you know, because this black man has probably worked hard to build himself a life that he got up to a better position. He can move into a building, a secured access building. I don't know how fancy the building was, because watching the video, it makes me think, and you know, seeing this lady with her dog, it makes me think that this was a high class building, or a 5-star building to live in, because the way she was acting like it was some kind of, you know, hotel that she owned. She took ownership as if she was trying to protect the building and from people walking in off of the street. But the man was intelligent. He didn't pop off, which I'm glad he didn't, because it would have made him look bad. It would have actually put him in a worse position, because for anyone to believe him, he had to actually go in the apartment, and at that point she was just babbling. She was still going back and forth, you know, with him, and you know, he was respectful enough. But if had it been me, I don't know if I could have maintained my composure. So I definitely give the dude props for not really going off, because he pays rent there. He has every right. Fuck color. He has every right to be there just like she does. But for her to try to harass and bully him and really go on and on, knowing that she was videotaped, that's why she lost her job because of it. She lost her job because she can't represent a company with the star of a viral video that's being obviously racist. And, you know, she felt like she was nice and respectful, but that was still racism. She wasn't crazy and loud all in his face. She wasn't screaming, but had that camera not been there, I would have questioned, had she pressed charges and said he sexually assaulted her. It could have been so many different things. She could have said he tried to kill her without the camera. So I'm glad the camera was there to capture everything, you know, that was going on in that moment. But thank God for camera phones. That's why we have them. But these are things you cannot do to a black person, don't let alone a black man that is trying to enter his building. He's trying to enter his building, and he was very composed, but I believe he was more composed because the fear is that an altercation could happen with the police. The police could have came and took her side right away. He could have been shot outside of his own building based off of her allegations. She could have said worse, more lies that did not happen. So everything that she's doing now, I hope she learns from this, and I hope that she finds some kind of sense, because that's what she did not have in that moment. She didn't think about his worth as a person. Forget color. His worth as a person and respect as a person. Even if she was guarding the door. I mean, I have a job that has a secured entry. Even if I see an employee go in, I have to actually ask them for their actual ID, only because, you know, it's on me and other employees to keep the place safe. You know, anybody can come up to the building and say they work there. So the difference is that it's accepted and allowed. We're trained to do that, you know. But this is a apartment building that is a freedom of choice for you to live there. It's not something that you necessarily have to do. And once the man told her that, you know, he was he had an apartment there, then that was it. That should have been it. She should have just continued to go out and walk her dog. Old Amy Schumer looking ass. You know, as far as what she could have done, she could have again escalated the situation into something that was really not there had the camera not been there. So thank God for camera phones. But you know, it's sad that he had to have one, because I believe that this story wouldn't have got no traction had he not had a video to actually show this type of blatant racism that was passive aggressive as fuck. It was not a it was not a lynching, but it was almost like the possibilities. I feel like she was dirty because I feel like she knows that she could have really got him in trouble. She could have actually got him in a position where his life was in danger, because if she called the cops and created all of this drama, unfortunately, that's the privilege. That's the power she has as a blonde white woman. She has that power and privilege, because had it been any other race, it would never be even thought of to that they could have the power to escalate a situation to harm another person that was innocent, that was a person of color, that was a black man. You know, so it's really, you know, harmony and peace. We supposed to all, you know, live together and not have these racial type of situations. But this is America. America was founded on racism. It was. And we all know the history of slavery. We all know that it's a stink that's still on us and on them, you know. So we have our doubts and our fears with what they could do, as much as they might have fears, or they might just be just bored and they want to be entertained. You know, that's their privilege. It's not right, but it's the way things are, and it still are in 2018. So people, you let me know, you know, let me see if too much light. You let me know if this situation you believe is something that could have escalated. That's what I really want to think about, because the Emmett Till situation, do you think that this could have been escalated into a harsher, more serious incident had he not had a video? You know, when he pushed his way through, she could have said, oh, he's trying to hurt me, he was trying to touch me. She could have said all kinds of stuff at that moment. But, you know, thank God he made it to his apartment. But I feel bad. It's like he can't even walk out of his place without worrying about being a suspect of a or an imaginary crime, just by being who he is, by being the color that he is. So you let me know. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I have a website called scareofthelight.com. I have a book series called Scare of the Light, The Dream Memoirs of Russell Banks. And it's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and plenty of other online retailers. So search Scare of the Light, The Dream Memoirs of Russell Banks, written by Darrell Harper. All right, so you let me know, hit me up, and I will talk to you back. Peace.